You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Fuck you.
You're a tough little bitch, aren't you? I like that. But I don't give second warnings. Go fuck an iceberg.
I know it. It all sounds like some bad movie.
Welcome to Moviesucktastic, in case you didn't guess by the intro there.
That's right.
Episode number
143. This week we're reviewing the film, the 80s film, the Linda Blair machine, Savage Streets. Let me tell you, I wouldn't say most, I would say all of her lines. I mean, very healthy helping of cheese. Holy shit.
Well, let me just say right off the bat, with all due respect for Linda Blair, who found stardom as the possessed child in The Exorcist, obviously.
Didn't she get nominated for an Oscar for that?
Maybe, but she's not a good actress.
No.
She does not act well, and maybe that's why after getting Oscar noms and being one of the biggest films of all time, she's slumming it in films like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's hard enough to pull off the tough female role when you're a good actress, but when you're not, it's So, oh Jesus!
I'm so sorry.
Wow, no mute button there, sir. Oh, and he keeps going. He's still going. He might be dying, but he's still going.
I couldn't hold that one.
Wow.
Fucking
right
allergies. It's allergies and...
Yeah.
I never really had that before. Linda Blair, because, I'm watching this movie, and she's supposed to play a high school student. And she looks not old, but way too fucking old for high school.
Yeah, you never get people of age playing high school students. There's always people in their early 20s or
right. And when she did this film, she's 25 years old. Now, that's total youngin'. I mean, but she looked well beyond her 25 years in this movie. She just looked like a full-fledged, mom of two. That's just how I saw her. In this, with the hair, the double D's going, which you do get to see later in the film. One of the shining points, in my opinion.
They hold out for that one bathtub shot. And
I bet she got nowhere near the money Halle Berry got.
Oh, of course not.
Of course not.
Halle Berry can actually act too. That's the thing.
Let's see. She was nominated for an Oscar. I can't imagine it wouldn't be for anything but The Exorcist. Let's see. Yep. Exorcist. Best Supporting Actress.
Do we want to talk a bit about the film itself?
Sure. Absolutely. And Linnea Quigley is in this as well.
Yes, she is. This is a year before she's dancing topless on tombstone or nude on tombstones in Return of the Living Dead, one of my favorite zombie films of all time.
Didn't she have implants by that point? Or was that later?
I would say compare that her breasts in that film to this film. Yeah, I'm guessing.
I like that she didn't go too big. I'm not a fan of implants, but I'm glad that she didn't go like Linda Blair size with her, size 2 frame. And let me tell you, Linnea Quigley, they get her to play the deaf mute sister. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because she was probably the only one even remotely willing to do that kind of nudity.
That's possible. You could line that up there.
Everybody else, all of the friends, that's in the opening of the film now, guaranteed none of them would do it. So they went with a sure thing. They went with Linnea Quigley.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Definitely. And it's like, yeah, honey, you don't have to say a word, and we'll pay you. And she's like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just look cute and get naked. Okay.
I wonder if she even got paid less because there was not a speaking part.
So.
Well, Savage Streets is the story of now. Do they establish what city this is in?
It's got to be California, because in the beginning of the film they're walking across. Yeah, looks like Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's Burbank. They filmed in Burbank, so it's pretty much where they filmed it. Yeah, and
although all the thugs have these fucking Guido Wap. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah, gonna give you a bear, nice sausage. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, wrong coast.
Well, that's still how they talk, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, the film is basically about these ne'er-do-well teenagers on the streets of California, going to high school, and then hijinks at night that turn sour when a group of boisterous girls cross the paths of a group of drug dealing, and really only one of them's a high school student. The others are just lurking around the high school.
Right.
And so they mess with the wrong drug dealing street trash, and the retaliation turns violent, and it's one of those situations where each retaliation is stronger and stronger until we've got rape and murder and all sorts of fun hooliganism.
Thank you. Good night. We'll see you next week.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's a straight up revenge flick / teen street crime flick. So you've got I
got some challenges for you. And I have 3 of them, or 4 of them actually. I have 4.
Okay.
And I'll give you the one that I'm going to challenge to you, but we've been doing this lately. You can have your pick of the other 3 if you feel that it would be better for the show.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the film opens up with again these guys.
Sorry.
The film opens.
It only happens when I breathe.
With Linnea Quigley, with Linda Blair's gang of teenage girls wandering Burbank, California. She's got her deaf-mute sister. Excuse me, you got me going on that. Her deaf-mute sister in tow, who she's very protective of, yet is not protective enough to not bring her slumming with her slutty friends on the streets of Burbank, California.
Bachelorette party.
Yeah. Literally because one of them is knocked up and is about to get married. And
out of high school.
Then we've got
smart.
There's a bit of a parallel, I feel, to and damn, I had it in my head, but there's the gang of guys. There's 3 drug dealers. The main one being Johnny. No,
Jake,
played by Robert Dreyer, and he's just fucking evil. He has a razor blade hanging from his ear, and then a couple other earrings. And then the young Vince, who is kind of like the little fledgling guy that they bring around. That's what I wanted to compare it to. It almost has the same feel as the gang of guys that raped the woman in the original "I Spit on Your Grave." Because there's the one younger guy.
Since you said it, it's already out of the way. That's one of your challenges right there. It's not the one I'm challenging you to, but that's one of the films I thought of because it is, just like you said, it is exactly that same. And of course, this film that's an older film than this, so it wouldn't be surprising if it's like kind of an ode or they borrowed from it.
Well, ironically, the writer-director, Danny Steinman, he was offered the chance to make a sequel to Last House on the Left.
Oh, really?
But that fell through, so he went on to do Friday the 13th Part 5.
Part 5. That's right.
A New Beginning.
That was a smart move.
Yeah, I think we would have been. I think we would have been better off with a sequel to Last House on the Left. How do you do a sequel to it? That's the weird part. I'm
it's
glad
the
that
next to Last House on the Left.
Yeah. So, but this young Vince is this young guy who, his father has strict curfews and stuff, and he has to sneak out and put on his leather jacket and go out and play with the guys.
Right.
And they all abuse. He's like the little mascot that they can all abuse and make fun of and force him to do things because he wants to be part of the gang. And as the film progresses, and this is the actor Johnny Venacore, who would Venacore. What, you tell me.
I'll tell you.
Okay, how's it pronounced?
I'm going to tell you. Keep talking.
Oh, you're looking it up. Well, Johnny Venacore, this is the guy that plays the main magician character, Venacore, in The Lord of Illusions.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, that's pretty much...
The Clive Barker film?
Yeah, but it's a good Clive Barker film. It's not Nightbreed.
It's certainly not Nightbreed.
Yeah, but he plays the main magician in Lord of Illusions, and that's pretty much his high point of his career. And I loved him in that film.
He's still doing stuff, but
yeah, I'm not saying he's not busy. I'm just saying that was like his big thing. You're not going to see other mainstream films you're going to see him in. Definitely and the great thing watching him in this is the further the film gets and the more he has to emote, the crazier and more lampoonish he becomes.
Yeah.
It's just it really adds to the unintentional campiness of the film as he starts rebelling against his street thug gangs and tries to protest against them doing horrible things to people. And so again, one of the main reasons I thought of one of the reasons I thought of The Hills Have Eyes. No, I Spit on Your Grave.
Spit on Your Grave.
I Spit on Your Grave is that. Just like the retarded character, just like the mentally handicapped. In the 70s, he was retarded. Just like the retarded character, where they forced them to rape the girl, the woman. In this one, it's the same thing, where he's the first one up because they want to, make him do it and prove, just fucking with him,
just break him in.
Right, and that, by the way, is probably one of the most brutal rape scenes I've seen in a film. It's definitely, it's definitely harsh, and. You know what it is?
You're talking about "And I Spit on Your Grave."
What? I'm talking about this film, Savage Streets. That's a harsh rape scene.
Well, I don't want to say it's not. I mean, it's bad, but there's worse.
Linnea Quigley is a very believable victim in this movie.
Well, yeah.
It's like there was like I almost felt like they were actually raping her, or at least or at least in her mind there was uncertainty as to whether this was going to go real. I mean, just her look on her face sold it to me.
She's like, just put it in me, boys. Make it as real as possible.
yeah. Johnny not so much, but her definitely. And it's a brutal part, and it's one of the things that almost got them an X rating. Was some a bit of additional rapage that they trimmed out of it to get the R.
Additional rapage.
Yeah, a little excess rapage trimmed off there.
And Linnea Quigley was 26 when she did this film, so
yeah,
she actually pulled off the high school student more than Linda Blair. I'll give her that.
She's the only one I believed was in high school. She pulled off 16 or 17 or whatever she was supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I have to say that as far as the escalation, the first thing that happens is the guys are in their convertible, tooling around, having a good time, and they turn a sharp corner, and they almost hit Linnea Quigley, and everybody's upset. But they kind of half apologizes, and they trash talk back and forth between the girls and the guys, and that's it. They leave. But then later, Linda Blair says, "Hey, let's steal their car and fill it with garbage." Which I felt was an unnecessary escalation, and it was you went from an unintentional mishap to reckless vandalism, and I thought I was on their side at that point. Now,
yeah, I was too. I mean, had they just stole the convertible and then just left it there unscathed,
around, yeah,
roll credits. That's pretty much that's it. You're done.
And that's one part of the film that I feel this film's begging for a modern day remake. I want it.
We've been saying that a lot lately.
Well, we've hit some of these films.
This is also another film that we've been saying a lot lately. I feel that it takes itself seriously.
It does. I don't think it's not going for camp or lampoon. It's trying to have a serious message and working within the constraints of the talent and the budget it has. I mean, but there's one theme that doesn't really get touched on as much as I feel it should have, and it almost feels like it was almost intentional. Is that it's Linda Blair's character, which is Brenda. It's Brenda's fault that everything in this film happens. She's the one that pushes it too far to begin with and says, hey, let's fuck with the guy's car. Hey, they're drug dealers and a little unstable. Let's fuck with them some more. Not a good call.
According to the principal, her sister should have never been there.
Oh, that was not... Oh, can we talk about John Vernon for a minute? Because
sure.
Now, I watched, I got the special edition DVD with the audio commentaries. I didn't make it through all the commentaries, but I did listen to some of them. And one thing they said was that originally he was supposed to be like half the film.
Oh, really?
In the original screenplay, he was like in every other scene. He was like a major character. But and it's kind of cool that as they got more into the film and filming it, they felt that they wanted to spend more time with the punk kids and make it really, draw out more of their character and give them character arcs. And I respect that. I like that. But motherfucker, I wanted to see John. It's like you want John Vernon. Who anybody who's listening who doesn't realize this is the he's the dean from Animal House.
Yeah, it just subtracted, or I should say separated by what, maybe 4 years?
Yeah, something like that.
5 years, something like that. I think Animal House came out in 1978, so maybe 6 years.
And this could almost be like his spin-off sequel from Animal House. I had to deal with that goddamn...
Yeah, take that goddamn cigarette out of your mouth.
Yeah, but, Delta House broke me down. Now I'm working in this shitty high school. There's a great part when because again the three of this drug dealer gang don't go to high school. They just go to the high school and fuck with the kids. Right. Which I guess the policing schools was much more lax those days. And he comes up to them at one point and they're fucking with him, and out of nowhere he just says, "Go fuck an iceberg."
Go fuck an iceberg.
What?
I had to rewind it because I'm like, did he say go fuck an iceberg or go fucking iceberg? I'm like, and then one of the guys that goes, "What are you, the principal?" He's like, "Yeah, I am."
I mean, what I like is they really like Linda Blair. They gave some. There's more bad words in this film than you normally expect from a film of this time period. And
the C word is thrown around like it doesn't even
there's
matter.
A lot of yeah. Linda Blair is called cunt more in this film than she said in Exorcist. But when Vernon's talking with the kids and they're like fucking with us, you're the deans. What do you want us off school? That's right. Get your faggot friends out of here before I feed them to the cops. Like, whoa. And then, well, you mentioned the scene where he's and it was in the trailer too, where he's talking to Brenda, and he says, "Yeah, I'm sorry about your sister. She never should have been there in the first place." And it stops there because the next part of the film is Linda Blair says, "Fuck you." He looks up at her, smiles, and she's like, "Yeah, what was that? Like, you're a tough kid. I like that."
Yeah, you're a smart girl, real nice body. It's like, what? Where the fuck did that come from?
Yeah, and you just wanted to see him get involved more, almost like a cross between the principal with Jim Belushi, or maybe the substitute. Right. It just you just want to see them fuck with him and just something. You want to see him do something unexpected, because he does, even just in dialogue, he does so much unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in just a short amount of time too.
Yeah, and I think my main problem with I've got my main issue with Linda Blair's character is that she doesn't do enough unexpected. She's playing herself as a really tough kid. And, I'm tough and I'm hardcore and I'm pushy. But she's loud with the blonde that's going to give her shit for ogling her boyfriend. Did you recognize the boyfriend?
I did. That'll come later.
Faggot beefy.
Faggot beefy.
Faggot beefy.
We will talk about that later.
okay, but I'm watching the film like I know that motherfucker.
Oh, I knew immediately. It was just like the second he was I didn't have to look it up. The second he was on screen, I'm like, Fagga Beefy? Fagga Beefy? I knew immediately who he was.
He was, but I had to look it up. I'll admit, but I definitely it was like I recognized that.
You know, as I'm watching the film because it's on while we're broadcasting.
Oh,
we really should have.
Yeah,
we should have really sold this better to our fan base and anyone that we know in our close knit friends or anybody. Lots of nudity on this week's show. Tune in, and we blew it.
The shower scene.
It's a fucking shower scene.
And later there's a fight, a wet T-shirt fight in the shower scene.
Yes.
And again, like they saved Linda Blair. No nudity, just teasing like hints of possibility. All through the shower scene, you don't see any real nipple or anything with her.
Well, there's a shot where
one shot.
Well, there's a shot where she grabs her shirt in such a way that you almost feel like a tit is going to fly out.
Right.
But they cut just at the right moment. You're right. Right moment. Yeah. No, nothing.
Yeah. But like, there's a scene later where Linda Blair, she's fighting with this blonde chick because her boyfriend keeps hitting on her. And there's another great line. I wouldn't fuck your boyfriend if he had the last dick on earth.
Yeah.
Some good lines in the film.
My favorite line, which we can do now or we can do later. I don't care when we decide to do favorite line.
Go ahead.
Okay, favorite line. Do you have one?
Yeah, go fucking iceberg.
Okay, my favorite line? Put that goddamn skeleton back where you got it. My favorite line in the whole fucking movie. I rewound it twice. Put that goddamn skeleton back where you got it.
That was a great scene, too, because you had this geeky little teacher come in, but he's, like, taking no shit. It's like, sit down. Yeah, you. Put the goddamn skeleton back where it is. It's just like...
When I heard it, I'm like, this is it. Favorite line. I'd have to be blown away, because the iceberg part had already come. And I love that. And I'm like, I'd have to be blown away from the rest of the film to find a better line. For me.
And the thing with that scene, too, like that, he comes out so tough that when Linda Blair and the other girl get into a fight again, right. And they're the cat fighting on the ground, rolling around together, and he runs over to try to stop them. It's like I almost expected him to lean in, like grab one of them by the hair and pull them up. There was just this hard edge line to this little meek mustachy science teacher, whereas like, you know what, I'll kill you.
I was expecting I was just gonna fucking say that. I was gonna use Bunsen burner in there, and touche, sir.
But the thing is, the film keeps like throwing little things like that where it's like, oh, this is there's such a hard edge to this scene, but then it just pulls short, like it's almost like afraid to go any further. Not in every aspect. Again, like with the rape sequence, it definitely doesn't pull any punches.
Right.
But like Linda Blair's character, when this blonde chick's like messing with her and saying things in class and trying to get her in trouble, and you just expect her to turn around and like clock her with a chair. And just attitude of like, don't push me because I'll step it up a notch. And that's exactly what gets her into the trouble with these guys, because she meets a guy who's the same way. She really had more in common with Jake than the film allows us to take on. The fact that both of these people are incapable of handling any kind of confrontation without making it physical and without escalating it, trying to go higher. And it's like a deadly combination of these two. And the remake, I really think, would hone in on that and point out that, yeah, this is all your fault because you can't let go just like this guy. And when you two bump heads at the end, you're going to take half the town with you.
Yeah, and what's funny too, unless I missed it, don't they know each other kind of? Not, like hang out, know each other, but it's like at one point, I think he calls her by name. I think they know of each other at least.
I think it's that kind of like high school thing where you know everybody. Like these guys used to be in high school and now they're out and they're still in, and so everybody kind of knows each other. So I got that kind of feeling. Not that there was anything intimate, but just that they were aware of each other and they knew each other.
Okay.
And the guys, the four hoodlums that run around terrorizing people, these guys, like as actors, they do some freaky shit in the film that's just like off the cuff. Two things in mind is now what's the name of the guy with the bandana?
Oh, his name was Fargo.
Fargo.
Who is based? If you asked me if Peter North and Eli Roth had a child, this is this guy. I couldn't think of a better description. I'm thinking Peter North, Eli Roth, and I'm like, he looks like both of these motherfuckers.
You nailed it, sir. You nailed it.
Thank you.
But like when they're watching the cheerleaders and like the guys are huddling and say, "Oh, look at the cheerleaders," Fargo takes the other guy's hand and puts the other guy's thumb in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely some homo like things going on, especially during the rape scene.
Wait, finish that word. Is it homoerotic?
Homoerotic.
Not just homo. That sounds bad.
I guess it does.
No, yeah, during the rape scene where Fargo pulls Jake in and kisses him.
Yeah, and they both laugh about it.
And then later when they're at the nightclub and Jake's fucking with Vince and he like grabs his crotch.
I bet they do that after they have sex.
That's
you were just joking.
Huh?
When Jake and Fargo, like after they have sex, they're just like, you were just joking. You know? It's like, I didn't mean it, nothing by it.
So there's this kind, and the fact that all their violence is being taken out on women, and yet and there's this constant like undertone of homosexual desire or suppressed desire. It really adds a layer to these characters that I don't think was 100% intentional, but really adds. He's like, yeah, no wonder you're. It's like it's that whole idea of like the homophobe where, yeah, they're attacking women because they don't understand why they're not attracted to them. Or they're trying to fight. It's like a love-hate thing. Yeah.
No, I think it's more intentional than you're thinking, though.
I'm thinking it's less intentional than it comes across. I just hate to give the film that much credit.
Well, and me too, but I really do think when you do things like, okay, guys, in this scene, you're going to kiss each other, and they're going to be like, why the fuck are we going to do that?
But they didn't do that. The actor did that. The actor improv it.
He did?
Yep. That's on the audio commentary.
Oh, see, I didn't listen to any of that stuff. I didn't have time.
So yeah, so with that knowledge alone, I'm thinking some of this isn't as
all right.
scripted.
I'm on your side now. Fuck. God damn it.
Well, even too, and look at the end. A spoiler, obviously. You don't even have to fucking say spoiler alert. Isn't it understood?
If the film is made in the fucking 80s or has 80s scream queens in it, probably we don't have to do a spoiler alert.
Also, there's two kinds of reviews. There's a kind of review that tells you if a film is good or not, and there's a kind of review that talks about the movie. And we're the latter. So you're not listening to us to think, oh, do I want to watch this film? Let me hear this. No, this is something you listen to after you've already seen the film and you want to hear about it more and talk about it more.
Exactly. We give you the in-depth.
Right. So anyway, what I'm getting at is just that homoerotic subtext that we're talking about. At the end, when Jake drops off the other guys and is going to go kill Vince, we've discovered, they're whining, saying, "How come we don't get to watch? Yeah, we want to watch too. Aren't we in this together?" And it's like we want to watch you go do Vinny, and there's that undertone of like we want to watch you and Vinny,
right?
And there's a lot of that in there, and it kind of highlights that hatred of women. And you could probably even say the same thing about Brenda and her hatred of the guys and how she treats men and feels towards men too. If you wanted to go that far, you could have this as a clash of on both ends of homosexual tension, and just like a reverse gender war, so to speak, if you wanted to go that crazy. Right. But again, I don't think they were going for that, but it's there. If you want to read into it, you can find it.
Sure, definitely.
I mean,
now the guy that plays Jake, what is it, Robert Dreyer? He looks more. I know he's been in a couple of other things that I've seen, but excuse me, he looks more familiar than.
You have a mute button.
Yeah, but only for you. You got to remember, I have a separate, audio feed.
Oh, then you need to shut it down.
I need water.
You should go get water.
I probably should.
Go get water. I'll keep talking. I can man the fort for a second.
All right, I'm gonna go get water. so I don't hurt anybody else. Sweet
Good old
Jesus.
Joey. And you can hear Joey leaving the desk and walking away now. And now here's the part where I could say a bunch of stuff where when he listens to the episode later, he might even have no idea if I started trash talking him now, and that would be hilarious. But, I mean, as I was saying, there's a lot of that subtext that really would be could be expanded on more in a remake, and I really angled towards that. This film does one of the things I hate is unnecessary foreshadowing. I wanted to point this out, so I'll just talk about why Joey's gone. At the opening of the film, while they're walking, during the opening credits, while they're walking the Hollywood Boulevard, they're looking in windows, and they have to stop at one specific shop to look in the windows at, and this is the window of a military outlet, survivalist commando store, and they're looking at the different stuff in the window, and of course we have to focus in on the crossbow that is available for sale, and the fact that we need to foreshadow all this just so she can buy a crossbow later on in the film is completely unnecessary, especially
that happens immediately. As they're walking out the door in their bachelorette party, she's just... Yeah, when you watch that scene, you're like, yeah, that's not going to come up later.
Well, if you've seen the movie poster, you know it's coming up, so why even bother?
Well, right, exactly.
I mean, the movie poster's got her climactic, death gear, if you want to call it that.
I guess it was easier for them to do that than to try and explain that she just happened to have it later.
But they show her walking out of the store with the bag anyway.
Not for nothing. But they end up in a hardware store in the fucking end of the film. They could have tied it into that. She could have just found it in that store.
They show her walking out of the store with a bag. They could have shown that shot of the window. You know what? Just do this whole gag. Show the window front and show the crossbow for sale, and show the clerk's hand reach in and take the crossbow out, and then cut to her walking out of the building holding a bag. So, gee, I wonder what she just bought. That makes more sense to me than foreshadowing an hour and 15 minutes in the beforehand that there's a store somewhere that sells stuff that you could kill somebody with.
Right. And when she entices both Fargo and Red, and she's with the pipe, she's hitting the door, and they're like, I'm gonna fuck her. I'm gonna fuck her. And Red's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck her too. He's just like, and then he's like, wait a minute, man. Something's not right.
Well, no, that's the beginning. Like the blonde guy says, hey, something's not right here. This is weird. And then she like unzips it and say, oh, come on, guys. You got me hot and bothered. It's like, oh, yeah, we're going to fuck her.
Yeah.
Literally, it's what he says. We're going to fuck her.
We're going to fuck her. But the thing is, it's like, she has the arrows on her hip. It's like, isn't that fucking weird? Wasn't that
it distills the character. I mean, what you're doing is you're distilling these as you go through. You can call it a character arc, but in a way, you're honing, you're fine tuning these characters, and you're distilling them. And it's that old gag from I didn't mean to kill him, but suddenly I like killing. And then the more once you've done that first act of cruelty, once you've done that first rape or murder, all of a sudden it just becomes easier to do the next one. And you see that progression where we're gonna rape her for stealing my car, and she cut me while I was beating people up. I'm gonna kill her now. It escalates that way, and it's almost like you're boiling down to their male essence, which is just fuck, kill, fuck, kill.
Yep.
And while Brenda is being boiled down to her essence of just escalation and violence, not necessarily sex, using sex
bad
as
hair day.
and bad hair day. And for her, she ends up using her sex as a lure, because that's all that's happening is it's just that constant dynamic of guys lusting after women, and then the violence that ensues. So, I mean, I like the idea by the end of that, they're just so mindless. It's like, I'm going to fuck her, and then we're going to kill her. Then we're going to kill her, and we're going to fuck her. It's just, there's nothing else on their mind. They're just, that's it. That's all we have to do.
Come on, Fargo, where's the pussy? Come on, Fargo, where's the pussy? Did you find the pussy? Oh, there you are. He's just like, are you taking a nap? What the fuck?
I have some doubt as far as the whole, let me tape record myself laughing and put the tape recorder in the warehouse to lure them.
Yeah.
That I was a bit off on.
Yeah, this fucking shitty Sony cassette recorder is not going to carry your voice like that.
And what else I liked is now she finds out that these guys are the people that raped her sister. I keep saying daughter because of you. Raped her sister, and she finds out that her other friend, her pregnant friend who was about to get married, has been killed.
Right. Who, for whatever reason, I really liked her. I thought she was cute as hell. I don't know why.
Oh, she was 100% likable. That's why she's the one that dies. 'Cause she's the only one of that whole group. You're like,
exactly.
I'd marry her. I'd marry her and move out and like raise a farm. She's a nice, everything about her was she was almost like the two purest characters in the film. Brenda
and her sister.
Brenda's sister because she's like
deaf and mute.
Yeah,
and she's innocent. She's just innocent. She's
beyond innocent. She's helpless. She's mute, deaf. She cannot. She's like the fragile little bunny, so to speak. And then her other friend is innocent. Is like innocence as far as just I'm in everything about her. All her motivations are pure. I'm in love. I want to have a life with him. I want to get away from the city. And she's always happy and always constructive. These characters there's nothing really negative about these characters, and that's why they die, or are fucked with severely. And I forgot where I was going with that.
Oh, you were talking about how Jake ended up killing her other friend, and then
how she finds out.
She finds out.
Because Vince kind of gets
he
fed
goes
up
to
with the whole
apologize
thing.
Essentially.
He goes to apologize to his sister, and you know what? I mean, okay,
her sister.
Brenda's sister.
You said
after
his
they
sister.
kill the friend,
because that would be gross.
You know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
But he goes to apologize, which apologies as far as rape goes don't really make it even, but at least he made an effort. So
of course, yeah.
Now, and here's where the film diverts from my comparison to I Spit on Your Grave, the original, is that the handicapped guy in the first one, she still kills.
Yep.
She's like, yeah, you know what? But I know you're kind of stupid, and they kind of made you, and you didn't know what you're doing. But you know what? You still raped me, so I'm going to hang you. So in this one, what?
No, this is true. How many times did Linda Blair go wide-eyed in this goddamn movie?
Oh, but near the end, I just
Holy
loved it.
shit.
Well, but now when she stumbles upon Vince confessing and then later tracks him down to his house, she has him on the ground, knife to throat. The picture's on the Facebook page. And she doesn't kill him, though. She lets him go. She shows mercy there.
Well, in the defense of the film, in that moment, you don't know exactly what she does because he doesn't show up till later that you find out, okay, because you think maybe she might have killed him and left him for his dad to find or whatever. Because the knife's to the throat, and he's like, he'll kill me if I tell you. And then she's got a wide-eyed, and then they cut the scene. So it's like you don't know exactly at that moment if he's gonna be dead or not.
But later you see him with a suitcase leaving.
Of course,
town. You're like, oh, so she didn't kill him. So there's that. That's that kind of thing where she pulls back, but her pulling back and then going on a killing spree doesn't work for me. I felt that she should have killed Vince, it just seemed right. So it's a hesitancy of the character. I see it as a weakness of the progression of the character.
The only thing I can say in her defense is that she goes to the door, meets Vince's dad, says, no one's allowed here because it's a school night. Well, we're working on a project. He lets her in. If he then finds his son dead, he's going to know she did it.
Yeah, but...
So, by her not killing him and just threatening him, she could go and kill all the other guys, and and we won't get into anything like if it gets traced back to her. It doesn't. That's just the way the movie works. She can kill the other three, and nothing gets tied to her.
That's the logic.
She kills Vince. It was her. She came to the house. Now my son's dead.
I understand the logic, but I also don't think that for someone who's as angry as she is and is like ready to avenge her sister, that
Right.
kind of logic would play into it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying it doesn't feel right to me. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not arguing the logic of it, but for me, it's a flaw in the progression of the character. Then again, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe that's her last act of humanity before she goes on her killing spree.
Could be.
You can look at it that way.
You can. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Now, my other issue with her character is at the end when and this all boils down to her versus Jake.
At the end, yeah.
And my problem with it is, like I said before, I see these as equal characters that resort to violence and escalation, and so they're naturally going to clash and erupt. But when they do clash, the minute Jake gets the upper hand for even a second, she turns into the crying, running away girl.
Yeah.
And
she really does.
Yeah, and it was.
I think at one point they did, because they do a lot of voiceover in films like this where they add audio post. At one point when he was strangling her, she's like, oh God, no. It's like, wow, that's really weak. You just spent like this last part of the third act showing how strong the character is. You don't shy away from killing people, and now you're in oh God, oh no mode. You're right. It felt weird. It didn't work for me either.
If it had happened earlier in the film, or was one of these things where like she wasn't as 100% dedicated to this kind of tough macho persona, and that had happened earlier, and then she overcame that, I can see that. But this is like after she's already offed a couple people, and she's ready. And when it happens, he's hogtied upside down, and she's literally, I'm going to slit your throat like a pig. So at that point, to go from that to, I got to run and hide now because he's coming after me. No. Now is when you get back in the car and back over him. What are you doing? Yeah. I don't. Yeah. It's so that's a weakness in the character that really it turns it back into your typical movie, like your typical horror film. There's desperation, run away. Ooh, here I found a way to win. Instead of I'm going to it's where it separates from things like Last House on the Left, where the whole thing is there's no stopping until the killing's done, and then you're like, oh, but now I feel empty inside. You have to go through that first, and like if there was a remake, it would have to end like Rambo, with these two just like literally like blowing shit up everywhere around them, like just. Killing other people in the process, because again, they are a danger to themselves and others. She's the reason her friend is dead and her sister was raped. They should have knocked her up too. That would be funny. And and she's the reason all these bad things are happening around her, as well as the guy's fault because he's perpetrating them. So I there should have been like just countless innocent bystanders being hurt by this battle. That's where I want to see it go, because neither of them are redeemable characters. No,
they're really not. Unlikable.
And I think it's
him more so, but
I'm not saying unlikable. I'm saying unredeemable. I'm saying that like there's no, and I think that's where the weakness comes from at the end, is their need to make Linda Blair the hero, but in some way make her actions redeemable. So at the end, it's almost like, I could have killed him. And it's not that she decided not to kill him, it's that he got the upper hand. But then her last act against him is an act of self-defense, so you can kind of explain it away.
Right.
And again, that's the shit I don't like in my revenge flicks. I don't want that kind of, but I have to. It's like, no, I want to. There's a difference. There's a difference between Last House on the Left and The Last House on the Left, the remake. There's, we have to fight these people because it's our only chance for the survival. And yeah, they killed my daughter. We're going to kill them. It ruins it, and I think that's the only. I enjoy.
Sorry.
I enjoyed this film. I liked the film. I liked the bad parts.
I liked it. Well, yeah. I mean, the bad parts are cheesy, but that's what's fun about it.
Robert Dreyer as Jake is just awesome.
Yeah, he's a total dick.
He comes off as just like a dick, and by the end of it says, wow, this guy's a monster and a dick.
Yeah, he's a monster dick.
Hey.
Oh, man.
It wasn't violent enough, too. I mean, in a remake, the gang should be like the size of the Warriors. You know, she should be taken out. In the remake, let's just get the funding and do it now because we're the only people going to do this right. The gang has to be like at least a dozen, or maybe a gangster's dozen, maybe 13, and then she has to go through all of them in the course of one night, like a cross between this and Death Sentence. That's what we need.
Sure, I'd see that.
Yeah, I mean, in Death Sentence, talk about there's a film where they line it out and say, yeah, it's your fault because you escalated it. Your son was dead, and you had to go and seek vengeance, and that just causes chain reaction. So you are a victim, but you're the reason everything else around you is dead too. And it doesn't shy from that. And actually, I didn't like that part of the film that much because the female cop was a bit too preachy about it. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how many kids you get killed before you go on. You can preach to me about that. Shut up. But besides that, I mean, it's tough watching this film, and of course we have to get John Vernon back, and he has to be like a major role in it.
Is he still alive?
We'll bring him back somehow. We'll get. I don't know if he is.
We'll bring him back somehow.
I'll find out. We'll see. No, he's dead. He died in 2005.
So dead.
We'll CGI him in.
God, that's too young.
We'll CGI him in. That's easy. They can do that these days. I've seen it done.
Jesus Christ, CGI.
Man, he should have been. I was waiting for the twist where he was Brenda's father. That's how much I liked him in this film.
Kind of hit on her a little too much to be her dad.
Well, I don't know. They should have showed him like drinking as well, like having a bit of an edge on. So I'm gonna deal with these fucking punks all day. Gonna need to tie one on. Just yeah. It's just. The film, it's yeah. Fucking John Vernon, how do you not want it? It would be nice too. It'd almost be like would redeem his character, especially if it was actually the Dean from Animal House, because to redeem him where he was the baddie in that one, but now he's like, yeah, now I'm going to stick up for some kids for a change. These are yeah. They were just like doing pranks and stuff, but these kids are fucking killing each other. It's not funny. Why can't you kids just like soap each other's windows? What the fuck's with the rape? What's with the rape?
What's with the rape? God
What's
damn
with
it!
all the rape? I want that line in there. What's with all the rape?
Have we touched everything we think we need to touch?
Well, like we said, Linda Blair's. They have the one nude scene of hers where she's in the bathtub, in between finding out what happened to her sister and tracking down Vince. She takes a nice hot bath and mulls it over, and then gets dressed for vigilante. I buy that too. I can see a woman hitting that point where, and this is not a sexist thing, but I can see a woman where part of it's going to be, all right, how am I going to dress for vigilantism?
Right.
I'm going out, or at least for a younger girl or that kind of thing. How am I going to accessorize? Because she has earrings on. She took the time to put on earrings to go out and kill people.
Yeah.
So that's in the mind.
Accessorize.
How am I going to dress for my homicidal rampage? And how am I going to accessorize?
I love the movie posters for this too, because the outfit she's wearing at the end, these movie posters show way more cleavage than she donned anywhere near what she donned at the end of this film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The shot where they're zipping up, and their camera's following up, that's as close to the movie posters you got, and it's nowhere near it.
You know what, too? I take back my complaint about Vince not being dead. I think she should have teamed up with Vince. Because both the actors had the same thing in common. The more the film progressed and the more intense the actors were supposed to act, the more goofy and over-the-top crazy they acted. My favorite part with Vince is when he's walking through the hospital and he's like this the entire way. He's like, it's like he's going to take a shit right there in the middle of the hospital floor. What's wrong with this guy? Then no one stopped this guy. So, are you looking for the psych ward? I think we have an overdose. Somebody help this guy. And then Linda with the eyes. And, I don't know, Johnny. I'm all out of arrows. It's like a psychotic reading a nursery rhyme book to kids at bedtime.
And let me go to the car and get some more. Don't go anywhere. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like so... It's almost like the director thinking, it's Linda Blair, no one cares. Just go. Just keep going.
Or the director, yeah, I'm banging her, so.
Yeah. It just those two should have been together on the homicidal rampage at the end. Can you see both of them like mugging? It'd been great. So that's going to be my version of this. Vince is going to join in.
Nice.
Fucking awesome. And
what?
I thought I had something to say about that because I was just thinking homicidal rampage, blah blah blah, and I lost it. I had some comment there. I will say one thing though. The crossbow is kind of interesting, but considering the gender clash here, the fact that Jake had a gun and she had the crossbow itself is kind of like a penetration, rapey kind of weapon.
Right.
And I don't know. And while the bear traps is more yonic in nature and really kind of gives you that more kind of like vagina dentata, but that makes more sense to me as a female part. And I wish the film had a bit more focus on that of the phallic shaped weaponry versus the vaginal weaponry. Vaginal weaponry. That's the name of the episode.
Oh wait. Here's. Oh wait. You know what? I'm not using media player, so I can't play the audio. But here's the teacher where he's like, "Put that goddamn skeleton back where you got it."
Yeah, he got the little bow tie and the little mustache, and he like slams the doors. Like, all right, everybody, get down. Turn off the radio. There's nothing meek about him. It's like he's already been pushed to the limit by these kids.
Put that goddamn skeleton back where it belongs.
10-1. 10-1. There's a gun in that briefcase.
Yeah, right.
10-1. There's a gun in that briefcase and bottle
probably a finger.
and a flask with Applejack in it. I'm telling you that teacher is not. Every teacher in this film should have been like armed and alcoholic, or drunk. Some nature of inebriation. It just would have spoke volumes. Because the kids aren't doing it right. Because the girl's like, how about some peach brandy? He says, wow, really? Do you have any? Wow, you're gonna pull that out, I did. But you have any? What was like fucking? Never mind. What's the name of the other drink? Forget it. Fuck. Wasn't to mention another like shitty alcohol that's like girls drink that's not real alcohol. But then later, like
Boone's
guys are
wine?
drinking, and I swear, what Boone's Farm?
Boone's
I was
wine?
thinking more like the pucker stuff. Schnapps. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say schnapps. Yeah, don't pull the schnapps out on her now. This is going to get hardcore. Schnapps, whatever. Now the guys, shut up. Later, when the guys are at the club and they pull out a flask and start drinking, you cannot tell me that's not the same bottle of peach brandy.
Oh, it is. I guarantee it.
Exact same bottle. And again, there's that.
I was hoping it was Tenafly Viper, like the director was just like doing something kind of cool. Oh wait, no, what the fuck am I talking about? This came out 3 years before.
Yeah, which would have been even funnier.
Yeah, it would have been hilarious.
But again, the fact
that like
they're drinking the same liquor is like there's that gender blurring that I liked in the film, and well, even in this class, the two main things he pulls down the medical chart, and someone drawn a giant penis on it, and then behind him he slides the chart, and there's a giant vagina, vaggie, and then fallopian tubes. Right. So it's all about this clash of sexes, and I think that I would have loved to see. I would have liked a little bit more of the imagery or the metaphors. Not that it doesn't have enough. Where I like this film, I can see enjoying this film again.
I'll keep it in my collection.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, like this scene here where they're fighting in the classroom, and Linda Blair eventually just tears off her tube top.
Right.
It seemed like such a typical. It seemed like the kind of thing that the blonde girl would do, whereas the tough, gritty, take no shit Brenda, I thought she should have like bashed her head in with a chair, or like just like elbowed her in the face, or just did something like really like wow, you didn't need to go that far. It should have been this constant state of escalation. I mean, as it is, every time she clashes with Beefy, every time she clashes with the blonde girl's the one that escalates it, and it kind of negates Brenda's character as being that firebrand.
How did she end up barefoot?
Is
How
she?
did that happen? Yeah, she ran out of the room barefoot.
I think she has sandals on. I think those are sandals.
Maybe.
It's California.
Probably
they all wear
not.
Sandals.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And that leads right into John Vernon.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Shouldn't have been there in the first place. But damn, you got a fine body.
Fuck you. Linda Blair saying fuck you. Is like, he doesn't even look up. He smiles like, yeah, I like
Fuck
that.
me.
You're a feisty
Fuck
one.
me. Fuck me. Okay. You
You're
talked me into it.
You're suspended, but if you want to come to my office afterwards.
I'll unsuspend you.
Yeah, I want to see much more of that, definitely.
Sure.
Damn it. Damn them for taking John Vernon out of the major plot.
Anyway,
So,
all right.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and rate this.
Now, the rating it has now on IMDb is 6.4.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's a pretty good score. I think it really, I mean, it's above average, but it's not getting into that 7 really good film average. You know, I kind of feel anything above 7.
so
it's better than
go
this.
You want to go a 6 or a 7? I feel like a 6.
I know I'm definitely feeling 6. I think 7 is way too high.
I want to give it a 7 because I enjoyed it, but I don't know if it deserves it.
It doesn't.
And by the way, if you do have a chance to get the special edition 2-disc DVD of Savage Streets, the audio commentary is hilarious.
Who's in the audio commentary? Is it the director and like Linda Blair? Or?
It's the one of the producers. I think the director is 2 audio commentary tracks. One has the producer and 2 of the actors, Jake and Vince, and then the other one has Jake.
Oh,
and
Jake's in there? Oh man, I gotta listen to that.
I think Jake's in both the audio commentaries, and then it's 2. Then it's another actor, and then not Vernon, obviously. And then the producers in one, and I think either another producer or the directors in the other one. I forget, because I only got through one of them, half of one of them.
And you know what's interesting? Because I just looked it up now. Savage Streets just came out on Blu-ray a month ago.
You're shitting me.
It just came out on Blu-ray a month ago. It came out April 26, 2014.
Does it have the audio commentary?
English Master Audio 2.0, music. It's got the music track. English DTS 5.1. So yeah, it's got to have the audio commentary. It's got more. It's got like 3 different audio tracks. And how hard would it be to port over the commentary? I mean, come on.
Exactly, sure. And we didn't even mention the music. Straight 80s ballads all the way through.
All the way through.
It's there's a time for vengeance, and your time has arrived. I kept waiting for Dream Master, or just going right into Nightmare on Elm Street with that whole shit. But it's straight 80s ballads. And again, a lot of people on news groups say, hey, no soundtrack. We want the soundtrack. This is one of those films that the soundtrack never came out. And it has... even now, as far as I could find, there was no soundtrack, unless I'm wrong, but I didn't see any.
I wonder if this audio track on this Blu-ray has fixed that.
Possible.
I have to look at a different... This is on Blu-ray.com, but there's not a lot of info about it. And it says limited to 1,000 copies. It says it's a code red DVD, BigCartel.com exclusive, limited to 1,000 copies. So does that mean that there's 1,000 numbered copies? Then there's, mass production? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can't tell me there's only 1,000 copies of this film. That would be stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look it up.
But and also that genius idea I had, where we have to have we should have anthologies of music from all the bands that play in movies.
Mm-hmm.
This movie has a band in it playing at the club, and they should be on that album.
Yeah. Now it says here it's got a brand new 5.1 surround sound mix from the original 3-strip mag, isolated music only track. Movie trailer does not say anything about audio commentary.
Yeah. Maybe. That might be copyrighted, so that would just be for that. Whoever did that.
That's ridiculous.
I agree. Yeah, so definitely get your hands on the 2-disc set. The second disc has a bunch of interviews. I know Linnea Quigley's one of the interviews. I think Linda Blair's one of the interviews too.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of those, but the audio commentaries alone, I feel, are worth the DVD set, which you can probably get cheap right now.
I would say
I'm gonna check that out real quick while we're talking about it. But yeah, we're gonna rate that 6.0. Probably that's as much as I like the film, it's all it deserves. And only has 1,600 votes on IMDb. Highest percentage of votes is 19.9% for 6, so we're right on the money there. Highest demographic is females aged 45 and older at 7.1.
Oh, really?
Yes. Lowest demographic is males 45 or older at 6.0.
Wow.
So that's everything's like right around 6 for this one. Only 1.8% giving it 1 star, but only 15.6% giving it 10 stars. So it's got more lovers than haters.
Neato.
So I think we're going to wrap up the show now.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you for tuning in for our little look at our little review preview X-view of We're Coming to Get You.
What a fuck.
Savage Streets, 1984, with Linda Blair and Linnea Quigley, and that's all you need to know.
Starring Peter North and Eli Roth's terrible spawn. And that guy that kind of looks like that guy from the Warriors.
I was thinking it looks like the guy from the druggy guy from Bachelor Party.
I would say
trying to kill himself.
Red. That Red looks like that guy. Jake kind of.
Red.
Oh,
Red.
okay.
I'm talking about Red.
Yeah, he kind of does look like him. Which I think that guy that was trying to kill himself in that film is Tom Hanks' brother.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know about that.
I want to say that's Tom Hanks' brother, but I want to say I read that somewhere. Okay. Yes, okay. Anyway. Episode 142 for Moviesucktastic. Go to our iTunes page, download our shows, leave reviews. Go to our website at www.moviesucktastic.com. Watch the shows there live. We have the live stream app. You can listen to the shows or you can download them. You can also go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. You can leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can email us at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can do a search for us in your favorite search engine. Just do a search for Moviesucktastic. You'll find everything that way. All right, everybody. Any words of wisdom?
Yeah. Go fucking iceberg.
Put that goddamn skeleton back where it belongs. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
She shouldn't have been there anyway.
She had it coming. Wait, what the fuck did you say?
What's with all the rape?
What's with all the rape?
What's with you kids and rape today, huh?
It's too much.